Hello, yes, well, this is Miss Wills again, and this is just the second part of our industry lessons that you'll be doing this week. Okay, so we're just gonna make a quick start. Last lesson, I asked you to research these questions and to obviously put the information on your blogs. So now I'm going to give you some of the answers on the screen here just to make sure you've got the right sort of things down. So I'll just let you pause the screen for a few moments so that you can write this down. Okay, so what I want you to think about now is I want you to think about and write down, what do you think are the most searched for things on Google? And this is in the US in 2019, guys. And this is before COVID, of course, because obviously at the moment you would assume it would be very much COVID related. We're talking about before COVID, pre-COVID. What do you think was most searched for on Google? Write a list down. Okay, so on the next slide, here are the answers. So the most searched for thing on Google was Facebook, followed by YouTube, Amazon, Gmail. Okay, so the thing what we've got on the side here that unites these together is it's new media, and it's media which is created by us as well. We contribute to the media. Yes, you have the companies who have created them, but now it's out there. Now it's been released to us. We help build upon it as well. Okay, so you can make your own YouTube videos like I'm doing now with this. Facebook, you make your own account. You contribute to that as well. It's not traditional news, as we say here, like movies or radio, but what's actually up and coming now is the idea that us as consumers, we like to be involved in the product now, actively involved in the product, and we become something called a prosumer. Okay, so we actually help to start to reduce part of the product, where you get that pro from, as well as consuming it. So that's called prosumer, guys, if you want to write that down. Another theorist we're going to look at here is end of audience theory by Clay Shirky. Okay. What Clay says, instead of being dictated to by big media companies, modern audiences are embracing new media through the internet to create identities and to be entertained. So, like Facebook, we're creating our own identity through that, and the likes of TikTok and the likes of Instagram. We like to be part of the production process. We like to make things and be active in out the process of consumption as well. New media audience are not passive, okay? So it's not like just sitting here and watching a film, but active consumers who want to engage with their media. And this is the word again here, prosumer, and you can write this definition down. One who both produces and consumes media. It's a new way of embracing media through the internet, and it's become very, very popular as well. And for example, for gamers, you've got the likes of Minecraft and computer games that what we're going to be studying as well. Yes, we consume that and we play that, but also you've got people out there who are also producing with the product as well, creating videos, putting them on YouTube, which are also in a sense advertising the product. So you've got kind of the companies are now relying on their consumers to become a prosumer and to help advertise whatever their product is as well. So it's kind of like a cycle. I hope that makes sense to you. We are going to go through that in a bit more detail in future lessons as well. Okay, so this brings us to Disney Plus. So in an industry that has had to adapt to changing audience needs, Disney have turned to streaming. And this is what we're going to be focusing on when we do our study of media. It is the idea of it being evolving media. It is not fixed. It changes with society. It changes with whatever events are going on in society. For example, at the minute, you've got the pandemic. So, of course, going to the cinema hasn't been a thing for a while. Online streaming, although was becoming incredibly popular and successful, more so now because of the changes in society. We can watch things from home instead of having to actually leave the home where we might feel not as safe, for example. So what I'd like you to do is there is a link on the right hand side here. I would like you to click on that for me. And this talks about the idea of how, the audience has changed now and the expectations of everything to be streamed now. I would like you to take some notes from this, and I just want you to add your own thoughts. Obviously, it's a good thing, especially at the minute that we've got these streaming sites that we can view things on. But are there any drawbacks to this at all in your mind? What do you think will happen to cinema? Do you think cinema will eventually vanish? How do you feel about that? Do you think that cinematic experience is kind of something we need to hold on to as well at the same time? It's quite interesting. So just any of your thoughts or ideas, if you could jot down after you've read the article, please, that would be brilliant. Okay, so this leads us on to our final task for industries. Now you've read the article, I would like you to summarize your ideas in a paragraph for me from what we've kind of talked about over the last couple of lessons. So using the article and what we've kind of learned, consider how Disney uses its assets to promote, distribute, and exchange their films. So how do they use what they've kind of produced, what they've built in order to get their movies out there and over to advertise their movies as well? So it says on the side here, you could consider the following: Disney's vertical integration. Now, this is a new term, vertical integration, that you may not have come across before. What vertical integration essentially means is that the company have ownership of production, distribution, the advertising, the exhibition of the film. So the company kind of has that control over all aspects of that chain there, of the industry chain. And that's essentially what Disney have. They have that complete control. The benefits of that, they receive all the profit. They don't need to pay another company. They can keep it all for themselves, which adds to their success, of course. And then it's kind of like a cycle, isn't it? The more successful, the more money they have, the more they can spend on movies with the latest technology, the latest equipment, which then adds to their success even more. So it's a kind of like this cycle that Disney have got themselves into at the minute that comfortably puts them as the biggest film industry in the world. Synergy, this might be a new term that you've come across as well, guys, okay? Essentially, what synergy means is it's when either two companies or two parts of the same company come together with their products. So two separate products are used together and advertised together to help promote both of them at the same time. So, for example, an example of this would be McDonald's. So, in McDonald's Happy Meals over across the years, they give you the sort of little Happy Meal toys. And normally the Happy Meal toys are related to a film that's just come out at the cinema. So for example, when we look at Jungle Book, we look at how when Jungle Book was coming out, they had Jungle Book toys in. Two different products, two different companies. You've got McDonald's and you've got Disney. However, they are selling each other. Okay, it's promoting each other. So at McDonald's is promoting the Jungle Book, but at the same time, people are going to associate the Jungle Book with McDonald's. So it kind of helps both sides there, and it helps sell them. So that's what synergy means. So think about how important that is. Merchandise as well, of course, distribution through Disney's own studio, and exchange. So there's all sorts to think about there. And what I'd like you to do, you'll see on the right hand side here, there's some sentence starters to really help you out. So think about the theory that we've looked at as well. Try and incorporate the theory that we've discussed so far. So I would like you to write that paragraph for me and to put it on your blog. Okay, so just stick that on your blog, and that's sort of part of your industry notes as well. Again, if you've got any questions regarding any of this, please just send me an email because I'll be happy to help, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you very much for listening.